Welcome to ICSE Computer Application Class 10 100 Marks. I am Ganga Devi, and in this video we will be discussing a very important topic, that is library class in Java. Along with that, we will be learning packages, wrapper class, boxing, unboxing, conversion of primitive data types into string and string into primitive data types. These form a very important topic in section A in ICSE board exam. So one by one, we can see the definitions and the syntax of all these topics. Before starting the video, I request all those who haven't subscribed my video till now, please subscribe it. And in the end, if you like and if you understand the concept very well, please don't forget to press the like button and don't forget to write your comments. So now we can start the video. First of all, we can discuss what is a package. A package is a collection of classes, and class contains various functions. For example, we are having the maths function, math.sqrt, math.abs, string functions are there, and input-output functions are there. So all these functions are stored in different classes, and collection of classes will make a package. Java has a collection of predefined package. That means when we install Java in our computer, these predefined packages also will be installed. And some of them are java.lang, java.util, java.io, AWT, math, applet, java.net, etc. So packages are also used to avoid name conflicts. We know when we compile the program in BlueJ, if we are having the same name in two programs, it will show another class is having the same name. So it is a name conflict. And packages help us to avoid these name conflicts and write a neat, proper, maintainable code. And two types of packages are there: built-in package and user-defined package. We can understand the arrangement of package through this diagram. In Java, many packages are there. For example, java.lang, it is a package, java.util, java.awt. And inside these packages, many subclasses are there. For example, java.lang.math, java.lang.string. Like this, java.util, many subclasses are there, just like java.util.calendar, java.util.scanner, and java.util.date. And in AWT, java.awt.image.color and java.awt.font. So packages are stored inside Java and classes are inside these packages, which we will be using in the programs. Now we understood what is a package and how packages and classes are arranged inside Java. So now the question arises, if you want to use a particular class or particular function, how we can bring that particular function to our program? For that, we have to import the particular package, and the keyword for accessing the package, it is import. By using the import keyword, we can bring any package to our program and we can use the functions which are stored in a particular class. So here the syntax for calling the package is import space package name dot class name. For example, we are having this package java.util. If you want to use some classes inside java.util, we can say first of all, if you want to use all the functions, all the classes inside the package java.util, we have to write import space java.util.star. Star will bring all classes and functions which are stored inside the package java.util. Now, if we want to use a particular class, for example, scanner class, then we have to show the name import java.util.scanner. So the particular class functions will be used in the program. We can use in the program. And here, if we want to use the maths class, then java.lang.math. We have to write the particular name. And if you are writing import java.lang.star, all classes will be coming to our program. We can use all the functions from that particular package. So if you want to use all the functions, star will be used, and if you want to use a particular function, we will use the name. And here java.io.star, all the input output functions can be used if you are using star. And the default package, it is java.lang. It contains all the basic fundamental classes like mass, string, double. So the default package, this question was also asked in the board exam. What is the default package in Java? It is java.lang. And now we can see how to create the package. We were discussing the built-in package. For example, java.util, it is the built-in package. Java.io, it is built-in package. And now, if you want to create your own package, that means the programmer want to create a package, how we can create and how we can store the classes and functions. So, keyword for creating a package is package in small letter. So here we can create the package like this, package space package name. So like this we can create our own package in which we can store any functions which we are creating. So now we can create a package, that means user defined package. The keyword, as we have already discussed, it is package, and suppose we want to create the package ABC. So we will write package space ABC semicolon. And inside this any number of classes can be created. For example, we are having class XYZ and some functions can be defined here. Close the particular class, then second class also can be created, class ABC. Their functions will be written inside, and after completing this class, then class check and their own functions can be there. So like this we can create the package. And now if you want to import this package, just like we are calling the predefined package, for example, import java.util.scanner or java.io.star, we can call this package also, that means the user defined package also, to our program by using import space ABC is the package name dot star. If you put star, then all the classes can be used. And if you want to call the particular class function of XYZ, we will write import abc.xyz, where ABC is the package name and XYZ is the class name. So like this, the user defined package also can be called to a particular program. Now we can see what is the use of a package in Java, why we are using packages in a program. A package in Java is used to group related classes. All the related functions and classes can be grouped together by using a package. And the other uses are, packages prevents name conflicts. For example, if by mistake if you write the same name in two different programs in BlueJ, while compiling the second program, it will show another class is having the same name. It will not compile and show the answer. So this type of name conflicts can be removed by using a package. A package helps to uniquely identify a class. For example, if the package name is school, we are having, and if you want the class teacher in two different places, we can have school.senior.teacher and school.primary.teacher. That means in two different classes we can have the same name. So like this, the name conflicts can be removed by using a package. And it provides controlled access by public, private and default. That means the access can be allotted by using a package. And once you create the package, we can reuse the classes inside the package. The package contained in the That means the classes contained in the package of another program or same program can be easily reused by using a package. And data encapsulation is also possible by using the package. That means they provide a way to hide the classes, preventing only the programs from accessing the classes. That means no outside programs or programmer can access the functions which is defined because they are hidden in the package. And maintenance. With package, you can organize your project better and easily locate related classes, and each and everything can be arranged properly by using a package. Coming to the next topic, all of us know Java is an object-oriented language. Now the question arises, is Java 100% object-oriented? Think about that. We are having objects in class in Java program, but we are also having the primitive data types also. And these primitive data types are not objects. So we cannot say Java is 100% object oriented. Java is 99.9% object oriented. So to overcome this problem, Java has the wrapper class. By using wrapper class, we can convert the primitive data types into object, so that in some programs we don't need the primitive data types, we need objects. We have to use objects completely in the program. Then for converting the primitive data types to objects, we can use wrapper class. And already we have learned type conversion. Type conversion converts a primitive data type into another primitive data type. For example, if you want int to double implicit or double to int explicit, so one data type can be converted into another data type by using the type conversion. And wrapper class convert a primitive data type into non-primitive data type. That means object, not into another primitive data type. So that is the difference between both of them. Type conversion convert primitive data type into another primitive data type, and wrapper class convert primitive data type into an object, and object into primitive data type. And this wrapper class is included in the package java.lang. So by using the wrapper class, we can convert the primitive data types into object and make Java 100% object oriented. Wrapper class wraps the primitive data types into an object. Mainly when we are dealing with methods, it is essential in many programs pass the value as objects, not as primitive data type. And wrapper class help the value to convert them into objects. And in java.util package, each class deals with objects, not with the primitive data type. So we need wrapper class in many places in the program. That is why we are using the wrapper class. And each primitive data type has its own wrapper class. So they can also be used to convert the integer string numbers, integer string into primitive data types and primitive data types into string. So here we can see the wrapper class of primitive data types. Except int and char, for converting into wrapper class, just change the first letter into capital. Here we can see byte, B capital, and the same word is coming, that is byte. And wrapper class of short is short with S capital, long L capital and the same word. Float wrapper class is float F capital and double D capital and the same word. And boolean B capital. For int, the wrapper class is integer. That means I capital, and chr, the full word will come character C capital. So we can see there are wrapper class for each and every primitive data types, and we can use them in the program. And many functions are there in wrapper class. We have already learned the character functions. So here we can see the first letter, it is character. That means wrapper class of chr. Character is uppercase, character to lowercase, character is white space. So many functions are there, and here also we are using the wrapper class. And for conversion, integer parse int, this we will be learning in the coming slides. Float parse float, double parse double. So these functions along with the objects can be used in many programs which we are writing. So now we have learned wrapper class, and for using the wrapper class, the process autoboxing and unboxing is used for implementing wrapper class in programs. Autoboxing is the process of converting primitive data types into object. Here we can see the primitive data types are converted in wrapper class automatically with a simple code. No need of elaborate codes because it is done automatically. Example is here int a is equal to 15. int a, it is a primitive data type. For converting into object, just write the simple code. Integer is the wrapper class of int and integer x is equal to a. So here the value 15 will be converted into object and stored in the variable x. One more example, double a is equal to 15.5 and wrapper class of double is D capital double. Double x is equal to a. It is converted into object and stored in the value variable x. And now unboxing. Unboxing is the process of converting object into primitive data type. That means the reverse of autoboxing. For the object, that means wrapper class object will be converted into primitive data type. So here we can say int x is equal to 51. It is the object. And for converting into a data type, primitive data type int b is equal to x. Same here, double x is equal to 25.5 and the primitive data type is double in small letter. So double d is equal to x. 25.5 will be converted into double data type and stored in the variable x. So like this we can convert primitive data type into object and object into primitive data type with the help of autoboxing and boxing. So now we can understand the concept of autoboxing through a program. In this program, class boxing public static void main int a is equal to 100. The first line we are storing the or using the primitive data type and converting the primitive data type into an object. Integer is the wrapper class for int. Integer b is equal to new integer a. B will be the object and we are storing the value of a in object b. And second way of using autoboxing is integer c is equal to 5. Here also the object is c. And the third way is integer b is equal to new integer 5. Here straight away we can give the value and it will be stored as an object. So these three ways we can create or do autoboxing and convert the primitive data type into an object. And in unboxing, unboxing is converting the object into primitive data type. So here we can say the first line it is autoboxing integer a is equal to new integer 100. Object is created and value is stored. And when, if you want to convert the value into primitive data type or variable, int c is equal to a. By using the symbol code, we can convert the object into a primitive data type, and this process is known as unboxing. We can see this example for understanding the difference between string in numeric form and numbers. So first of all, we can see how the string addition will work. Suppose string a is equal to computer and string b is equal to is fun. And if we are adding both of them, we can use the concat function also, but with plus sign also we can add. So if we are saying string c is equal to a plus b, the answer will be computer is fun. That means both the words will come together. In same way, if we are having string a is equal to 12, it is a number, and string b is equal to 15. If it is a number in string format, it will be enclosed in double quotes. Then when we add them, the answer will be 1215. That means 1215. Just like the word computer is fun is coming side by side, the string in numeric form when added will also come side by side. Now see this example. Here int a is equal to 12. int b is equal to 15. Two numbers are here. So when we say int c is equal to a plus b, the answer will be 27. The numbers will be added properly and we will get the result. But if the number is in string format, the addition will not be done. The output will come. Both the strings will come side by side just like the string addition is done. So this is the main difference when we are having the string in number format and integer. Normal mathematical calculations will not be done properly in string number formats. Now we can understand how to convert the number in string format into primitive data types. For this purpose, we use two keywords, parse and value of. Parse keyword converts the numeric string type into primitive data type, and value of convert the numeric string type into primitive type object. So how the function is used, we can understand with the help of some example. First of all, we can discuss the parse function and then the value of. Suppose string x is equal to 225, that is, it is storing a number in string format. If we want to convert into int, integer form, so we should be having a variable int, so we can say int a is equal to, the wrapper class for int is, yes, it is integer. So integer dot parse int, I capital in both the case, and in bracket the variable in which value is stored. So int a is equal to integer dot parse int x. This will convert the string into that integer form and store in the variable x. Suppose if you want to convert into byte, the wrapper class for byte is b capital byte, byte dot parse byte. Both b's are capital B. That means otherwise we can say byte dot parse byte x, the variable from which it is stored. And if you want to convert into float type, then float parse float of x. X is the variable and the wrapper class for float, small letter, it is f capital float. So we are using the wrapper class here. And for converting into short, short dot parse short of x. Converting into long, long dot parse long of b. So like this we can convert. Int means integer parse int, byte means byte parse byte, float means float parse float, short means short parse short, and long means long parse long. And suppose if we be having a decimal number, this will be converted either into double or float. So for converting into double, double x is equal to the same format, double dot parse double, d capital, wrapper class for double, double dot parse double of y. So these functions will convert the string into numeric form. And 225 will be stored in the number form in int a by b. So we can do the mathematical functions properly with this number. And now how we can convert into primitive type object by using value of method. Here if you want to convert to int, as already told, the wrapper class for int is integer. So integer dot value of, O capital, value of x. So this is the format how we convert integer dot value of x. And for byte, byte dot value of O capital X, and float, float dot value of x, and short means short dot value of x, S capital, and long means long dot value of x, L capital, and O will be capital every time. So like this the conversion can be done. And for double, double dot value of y. So here it will be changed into double. And suppose if you are having a string, that means string b is equal to false. False in double quotes means it is a string. This can be converted into Boolean format also by using value of method. So here Boolean b is equal to, wrapper class of Boolean is b capital Boolean, Boolean dot value of O capital of b. So this will be stored, that means the word false will be stored in Boolean format in b without double quotes. So like this we can do the conversion from string to integer and other data types with the help of parse and value of function. I think you have understood because these functions are easy. Integer parse int, byte parse byte, float parse float, short parse short, and float value of, short value of. So it is easy to understand. So you can convert the string into primitive data type. Now we can see how to convert the primitive data types into string. We can convert those numbers which are stored in the primitive data type into string by using toString function. ToString function is used to convert the numeric value passed as argument in the string object, and the return type will be string. So consider this example, int a is equal to 50. It is a primitive data type. And now for converting to string. String S gave a variable for storing. Integer wrapper class for int integer with I capital integer dot to string. S capital string always S will be capital. So integer to string function will convert the primitive data type int to string. And if you want to convert double number to string, it will be double dot to string. Double to string, the variable name. And if you want to convert float, float to string, float dot to string. And if you want to convert byte, byte dot to string. So like this, it is easy to convert the primitive data types into object. Here we can see more example. Short, short to string S, and long means long to string. So like this, all primitive data types can be converted into string. I hope you understood the concept. With this, we come to an end in this video. I hope you have understood all the concept, that is what is a package, what is wrapper class, how we can convert primitive data types into string and string into primitive data types, and definitions of boxing and unboxing. So if you like this video, please press the like button, and those who haven't subscribed till now, please subscribe it. See you all in the next video.